For instance, the story is incredible given that you began your career in Westwood as a walk-on. You finish it as a first-team All-American. Yes, you put up big numbers in high school as a safety and a wide receiver at Oaks Christian, a powerhouse here in SoCal. But I got to know, man, what was your mindset when you arrived on campus? In other words, if they viewed you as a walk-on, how did you view yourself?
I think there were two aspects of it. I think when you go in there, regardless of how everyone views you, you got to have the confidence in yourself, so that whenever you step on the field, you're not playing slow, you're not second guessing things, but you also have to show up and work like you're a walk on, and that's something regardless of when I got my scholarship or whether I came in as a scholarship guy, that was going to be something that stuck with me even since I started high school is that work ethic, and that's really what I think is going to lead to success, whether it's in football or any aspect of life. I really think that's the key.
You know it. I'm going to ask you about that scholarship in a minute, but let me ask you this. How much interest were you getting from other schools coming out of high school? I'm not clear on that.
None. So my only option to play in college, aside from going the JUCO route, was the for walk on at UCLA.
All right, so why was it, okay, it was your only option, but why did you want to be a Bruin specifically so badly?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in LA, so that's something that was always there growing up, and my sister actually had went there too, so I got more familiar with it as she went through her time there. So it was just a place close to home, and a lot of history there, and great academic school as well. So it was a great place to play at.
All true. Carson Schwesinger joining us. All true. In fact, were you going to go to high school where you went to high school? I went to Calabasas High School back in the day. So I'm 818 for life, even though I moved down to the 949. But did you always target that high school? Was that natural? Were you going to end up there?
I had actually started a smaller K through 12 school since kindergarten to 10th grade and ended up transferring there. The school I was at went down to 8-man football, and I'd been familiar with the school. My aunt worked there, so it was one that just naturally fell into place of where to go next.
I mean, I knew that story, so that's what makes his journey even more amazing. So you first make your impact on the scout team for special teams in your redshirt freshman year, and then you were rewarded a scholarship. Now, it seems to me like, dude, you're focused, you're locked in, so maybe it's not all that surprising, but what do you remember about learning that you were getting that scully, and then how emotional was it for you, given everything you just laid out?
Yeah, it was a big moment for me. I think going into that second year, I remember them calling a couple guys up in front of the team and saying we got scholarships, and it's definitely a rewarding feeling to know something that you set out to work for when that I set out to work for when I showed up, came to pass, and obviously probably my favorite part was getting to call my parents after and my brother and tell them about the moment and hear their excitement and make them proud.
Dude, how fired up were your parents?
They were fired up. Yeah. My mom, they were actually not together, so I got to call them both separately too, make two separate calls, and both of them were great.